Honorable Justice R.C. Chavan, former judge of the Bombay High Court, respected Sri Jayant Jaibhai former chairman Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa. Now he is in charge of the newly inaugurated academy, Dr. Baba Saheb Advocates Training Institute. Respected Sri Nitin Thakre president of Bar Association Nashik. And dear friends, we all know Honorable Supreme Court has mandated 3 years practice before joining the judicial service. Now a question arose before all of us as to how to utilize that 3 years period before joining the judicial service. The initiative taken by Honorable Lordship Sri Justice R.C. Chavan through this portal Ekalavya would answer this question. It is not merely a coaching program, but it's a capacity building movement. This movement aims to develop the personality, skills, ethics, and social sensitivity of aspiring judicial officers. Under the guidance of eminent judges, academicians, senior advocates, and experts, participants are trained not only in law but also in advocacy, adjudication, public interaction, and justice delivery. The goal is to shape judges who are knowledgeable, sensitive, and efficient in delivering justice. We are fortunate to have amongst all Honorable Justice R.C. Chavan. Sir needs no introduction. He has served as Civil Judge Junior Division. He has also served as Session Judge, Principal District Judge, Registrar of the High Court, Registrar General of the High Court. Then he was also Joint Director of this institute, Judicial Official Training Institute, from 90 to 94. He has served as a 4 years as a Joint Director of this institute. He has authored so many judgments. He has so many books to his credit. So, sir needs no introduction. I humbly request Honorable Justice R.C. Chavan sir to introduce this concept of Ekalavya model. Thank you, Lordship.
Thankful to the Honorable the Chief Justice and Judges of the Bombay High Court for providing this facility for spreading this concept. I am also thankful to Justice Anil Kigor, who is the chairman of High Court Legal Service Subcommittee, for and my dear friend Mr. Sunil Hake, District Judge and Joint Director here, for providing hospitality. Yes. I am grateful to Mr. Roshan Bagde, Advocate Roshan Bagde, President of the District Bar Association, Nagpur. By his side is sitting Mr. Advocate Nitin Thakre, President of Nasik Bar Association. And the person whose presence here encourages me to go on working, Advocate Jayant Jaibhai, former chairman of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, who is known as Guruji among the bar councillors, because his deep interest in shaping young lawyers. When that concept of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Center for Research and Training was conceived, I was a bit skeptic about the success of this venture. But last Saturday, this was inaugurated at the hands of the Chief Minister and Justice Gawai. Chief Minister came in spite of the problems which had arisen due to unfortunate and sudden demise of Shri Ajit Pawar. At that function, the Bar Council did an unusual thing. They honored me with Vidhi Maharshi Award. A person who is not at all enrolled as an advocate. Possibly this may be the first time that the Bar Council honored someone who was not at all a member of Bar. But I tell you, I have enjoyed unstinted support and unfathomable love from all bar associations wherever I worked. They have been extremely supportive. And if I could achieve something in my life, it was because of the excellent advocacy which I had the good fortune of witnessing. Good trial lawyers, good cross-examiners. And at Nasik itself, there were two very eminent lawyers who would finish arguing a civil appeal within half an hour. They would say, "Sir, I have this, my first point is this. If your honor is not with me on this first point, this is the second point. If not, this is the last point, and I rest." Finished. So this advantage of having good advocates appearing before you took me to whatever positions I held. I earnestly wish that the bar also, the present bar, the future bar, rises to that level of advocacy. I hope all of you know and remember that Mahatma Gandhi was a barrister. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was also an active practitioner. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was, of course, not just a bar at law, number of degrees. Young friend here has how many degrees? 9. How many degrees Babasaheb had? Yes. So he is aspiring to at least try to match. So Dr. Ambedkar, Jawaharlal Nehru, I think the last case which Jawaharlal Nehru fought as an advocate was naval ratings mutiny in Mumbai. So all these persons, they were also active in civil life, social life, politics. Our Chief Minister Devendra Fadnis is also an advocate, member of the bar. Once in a while, he should be appearing as Mamata Banerjee appeared, but not for adversarial purposes. I urge all of you to take this profession to that height. And this does not come, Rome was not built in a day. Taking profession to that height does not come easy. What is today's position of profession and judiciary? Ask yourselves, keep your palm on your chest and ask yourself, what is the position of advocacy or judiciary today? Have we lost the confidence of common man? Does the common man prefer to go to goons for getting justice? Does he shun courts? And if this has happened, who is responsible? Saying that we don't have enough number of judges is not going to work. True, enough number of judges may not be there. But let us also understand that there is a limit on the expenditure which the state can incur on judiciary. Because state has to allocate resources, scarce resources, between developmental agenda and running government. Therefore, we must use what we have efficiently. And suppose government were to increase the number of judges. Where are judges? Where are the candidates? Only a few years ago, Punjab and Haryana High Court had advertised judicial officers' posts. There were 10,000 applicants and not one was found fit. This is because we have never bothered to think that judges cannot be created by a magic wand. We have to work hard for creating good judges. And good judges would come only if there are good litigation lawyers. So the two-pronged approach is good litigation lawyers. If you don't go in for judicial service, you at least be able to do good work in the courts as trial lawyers. So therefore, the object of this program is to open up a platform, show you ways of how you can do it. There is going to be no spoon feeding. This platform is just an open platform. There are people who have got vast experience, who are ready to share their knowledge. And you should be ready to take it. Therefore, the way this program is going to work is possibly explained in PPTs, which you may see at the end of, because they have been fed. They are already there. You can see them afterwards. Why do advocates cling to the briefs? You must have heard those jokes. A son, advocate's son, told his father, "Dad, the case which you are fighting for the last 20 years, I have resolved it." And the father says, "You fool, I had reserved it for your son's marriage." Why this happens? Why do advocates cling to cases? Why don't they get rid of the cases fast? Any guess? Feel free to speak here, because though this is going to be live streamed, there is going to be no censorship here. Why this happens? Because of uncertainty of getting the next case. Uncertainty of livelihood. Why? Because the size of bread is shrinking day by day. The number of cases coming to the courts is shrinking day by day. Don't count criminal cases which are launched by the state. It only shows that criminality in the society has increased. And this criminality has also increased because of what? Because of our neglect. We don't ensure that lawbreakers are served with a just deserts. So therefore, if your lives are there, I'm in my way out, okay, walking towards the graveyard, but all of you have all of your life before you. Are you going to live a life in a society where lawbreakers thrive? If not, it is time for you to begin working, start taking up cudgels. The work in courts is not easy, because you fight wrongdoers also. There are a lot of pressures, but then you have to learn to bear those pressures. Though the simile may not be apt, or you may not like it, we are social scavengers. We are social scavengers, cleansing the society of bad elements, bad things in the society. If you are not ready to do that, don't be in this profession. Now, this reduced work, every year, Shri Jaibabaji will be able to tell how many new lawyers we add to the system. Maharashtra, 12,000 new lawyers are added to the system. Now 12,000 new lawyers should have adequate work, adequate remunerative work, where they can make money, right? Otherwise, if there is no money, the best brains will not opt for law as a career option, will they? Those whose parents are already in the system, they may come here as lawyers or judges. But what about others? And our system will not be complete unless we have all segments of the society participating in the system. Otherwise, what happens? Suppose you are coming from a rich background with a silver spoon in your mouth. You have not seen the other side of life. You have not seen slums. You look at the society from your own angle, the way you have been brought up. And when a problem comes before you, you try to solve it in your own way. You remember long ago, the belief was that a marriage is not complete till the seventh step around that sacred fire. But this was okay because, okay, in the case of people who had that sacred fire and 7 steps, 7 rounds. But this was not the custom in majority of people of Maharashtra and for that matter India. Therefore, when we look at things from our own spectacles, our own perspective, our vision shrinks. Secondly, as I said, the size of bread is shrinking and 12,000 lawyers are being added. We need to add work to the system. Now recently you might have seen that there are non-litigating lawyers, lawyers who don't come to courts, like those who do this bank work, examine documents and all that, registry, they appear before sub-registrars, etc. There used to be advocates who appeared only in the revenue courts. But still there is a limit to which that work can go. You are all aware of our preamble. What does it say about justice? Don't go to the entire constitution. Just tell me about preamble. Yeah, please, loudly. Social, economic and political. Maybe political justice we have achieved. But what about economic and social justice? Justice Gawai, former Chief Justice of India, once remarked in one of his judgments that disparities are growing day by day. So what do we do about it? Social justice. Where is social justice? After 70 years of the Constitution, we are still far away from social justice. That day when they gave me the award, I wanted to make a reply, gratefully accepting that award. But because of paucity of time, since the Chief Minister had to come a bit late because of his other commitments and had to go again, they circulated my speech afterwards. It was laid on the table of the House. So, there I mentioned this about justice social. We need to look at justice social. We need to work on justice social if at all we have to have an egalitarian society. Fortunately, Government of India has been consistently trying to bring about social justice. There are 65 government schemes. Heard of all those schemes? Just now you must have heard of BBG Ramji, because the name was changed. But there are 65 such schemes where persons who are entitled to the benefits of this scheme are not getting the benefits, and persons who may not be entitled to these benefits are getting them. Young people, you can come here and sit in the front also. Okay. Don't worry about my sneezing. It's not an infection. When I used to sit in the Nagpur bench of Bombay High Court, my sneezes would shake up the court in the adjoining courtroom. So these 65 government schemes, their benefits are reaped by someone who is not entitled to those benefits, and those who are entitled to those benefits don't get them. We can change this. You can change this. Because in this justice in inter-party dispute is a small part. But this social justice, where people who are entitled to education get education, people who are entitled to health services get health services, is important. From preamble, we can go to directive principles of state policy. You can also see the Constituent Assembly debates. Health and education were supposed to be the priorities of the Constitution. What is the position today? Government health services are crumbling, being wound up. Government schools are being closed down. It's okay. State may have its own priorities. But then state has provided health insurance, health cover to almost all. State has provided right to education. It's for us to vigorously pursue those things. And therefore, what we try to do through Ekalavya is this: not to step on the toes of those who are already established in practice, not to snatch their briefs. We find work for ourselves. We undertake surveys of these various schemes. Find out who is entitled to that benefit but not getting it. And fortunately, the Legal Service Authority has agreed to take this up. In fact, Ekalavya is working as an agency of Legal Service Authority for spreading awareness. So this is the work of spreading awareness of various schemes. Of course, you encounter difficulties because there are vested interests everywhere. Those who have been hijacking these schemes for their own personal gains would not be very happy about it. Those Shukracharyas who administer these schemes and who are used to taking bribes, without paperweight, the paper does not move. So these Shukracharyas will also be opposing you. But fortunately, we have the mantle, cover of the Legal Service Authority. You appear on behalf of the Legal Service Authority. You take up this work on behalf of the Legal Service Authority. And then, I will tell you, if you succeed in getting at least 5 persons who are entitled to a benefit who are not getting it, if you ensure that they get it, those 5 persons will be obliged to you forever. And you would have made a mark as a person who delivers something. So clients coming to you will not be a problem. The other advantage, I'll revert back. If you have come from a particular background, you don't know anything about the society, you can't be doing justice. Because you look at everything from your angle, your spectacles. That won't do. But once you move in the society, once you find out what is actually happening at the ground level through these surveys, what is happening in offices of Shukracharyas, then you realize that life is not so easy. Life is not a made of roses. And then once you learn to fight, then the journey becomes easy. One of the reasons why Justice Gawai chose to impose this 3-year practice rule was this. It was not just a question of temperamental and other issues. He wanted those who come to the service to see life. It is another thing that I have not practiced. I came straight from the college. At the age of 24, I was a civil judge. But then, I had the advantage of parents who were socially rooted. I had the advantage of having done some social work before I came to court. That everybody does not have. And unfortunately, let me, if there are professors here, please forgive me. Our legal education is now so cramped that doesn't give students any time to think. You are always running after examinations, semester, trimester, whatever it is, and scores. You feel that without scores, nothing happens. And Mr. Hakim will forgive me for saying something about judicial officers also. Because just now, father of a judicial officer met me. We are running after numbers. How many cases disposed of? Are we there to dispose of cases or to do justice? Therefore, from all these angles, I urge all of you. This is a question not only of your own futures. This is a question of future of India in which you want to live. And you want to give it, you have no choice. You have to give. Therefore, let us make a change. We can make a change. We can have benefit of these schemes. We can spread awareness. And then we can prove to ourselves that we can do something. If you are willing to come in for this, then please join Ekalavya. There are no fees, nothing. No compulsion, no tests. Tests are there. But those tests are for your satisfaction. You answer the question and you evaluate yourself. You decide whether you have done well or not. The test is only to ensure that you hear the lecture or you listen to the lecture carefully. One of the things which you have to do afterwards is to find mentors. There is a list of mentors on the site. There is a list of interns also. You have to choose which mentor you want to work with. And the mentor will get your credentials, and mentor will decide whether he wants to take you or not, he or she wants to take you or not. And once that link is created, you and the mentor can work wonders in 3 years which you spend waiting for preparing for judgeship. One of the concerns in all this was also, see, at the age of 18, you pass your 12th standard. 5 years of law course, 23. 3 years of practice, 26. 1 year in recruitment, 27. If a poor father were to support his child till 27th year of his life, then it will be difficult. Therefore, we make this beginning. We tell the society, we tell the legal service authority, we tell the High Court government that see, this is what our boys are doing. So pay them some stipend, some internship allowance, some remuneration for the work. But this will come only after we prove ourselves. If we don't prove our worth for the society, society is not bound to remunerate us, no? So therefore, it is your duty also to see that you succeed, you make a mark, so that government is compelled to take notice and say that yes, because Bar Council has a long-standing demand of stipends, just as doctors get some house allowance or something like that. We don't want much. All that we want is that we should not be dependent on parents after we get this professional degree. That much, I suppose, we can all achieve. So, as a part of the whole horizon, all 65 schemes are there. Last month, possibly in the beginning of January, a matter came up before the Honorable Chief Justice, Justice Chandrasekhar, about women victims of violence. And in an order or in an interaction in court, he said, yes, we compensate victims, but respectability, we don't bestow respectability on the victims. And then he's say give a new idea that can we use these victims as paralegal volunteers, as mediators, as members of the Lok Adalat, because having undergone the trauma, they will be best suited to persuade parties to a dispute to come to a settlement. They will be best suited, best equipped to spread awareness among the society about the violence that women have to suffer in the house and outside the house, on the streets also. So therefore, his idea, we will take it up, but of course, after a green signal from him, because I don't want to steal his ideas or thoughts. It is his thought, and let us give due credit to the Chief Justice for this wonderful thought. I suppose all of you will agree that instead of waiting for the sixth sense of Supreme Court getting awakened when the matter reaches the Supreme Court, if the matter can be sorted out in the trial court itself, it will make wonders. You have the satisfaction of having done something. How do we go about that? In one of the surveys, what you do is you try to find out who are the victims whose cases are over. There is nothing is pending before the courts. Ensuring that the identity of victims is never revealed in course of your survey. Or when you, then we submit these people, those who may be willing, those women who may be willing to participate in this program. You identify them. Then we ask them to undergo an aptitude test. What is the best role which they can perform? Either it is PLV, paralegal volunteer to spread awareness, or a mediator, one who can persuade, or a Lok Adalat member. And then accordingly, we request the Legal Service Authority to provide these roles to these women. If we do this, we would have done a great social service. We would have kept ourselves meaningfully busy, not just preparing for the examination, but doing something which will give us, which will make us feel proud in the end. So I urge all of you to consider this aspect also. Last week, in the undelivered speech, I had said that these awards are given, Jivan Gaurav, etc., to signal that, old man, you have done enough. Now please take your seat. But when I see the present situation of the country, when I see Tagore's dream, where the mind is without fear and head is held high, where the society is not fragmented by narrow domestic walls, not being realized even after 70 years. Please read the poem yourselves, because the clock does not permit me to talk for a longer time. So this dream of Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore, which reverberated in our constitution making and in the constitution, is still not realized. So where is the time to take rest now? There is a Marathi song which all of you might have heard. नाच नाचुनी अतिमी दमगे थकगे रे नंदगागा. राष्ट्रसंत तुकडोजी महाराज wrote a bhajan based on that song. नाच नाचुनी दमोत कोणी, नाच नाचुनी दमोत कोणी, मी न थके यदुनाथा. So all that I have to say is that I am not going to retire. We must keep on the fight for equality, for ensuring that all the barriers which separate one human being from another in this country are broken. In fact, for this program, Mr. Monal Thul has rendered a lot of support. Monal Thul likes to be identified as an Indian. His contact is saved as Indian. So let us forget all barriers, let us break all barriers, and let us be Indians first and Indians last. So for doing this, these schemes and this Ekalavya platform will definitely help you. I urge all of you, in whatever role you can perform, those who are new entrants to the bar may join as interns. There are senior members of the bar present here. I request all of you that yes, admit that we have failed in our lives to realize the dreams of the Constitution. It's our failure. But these young people should not suffer because of our failures. Let us help them to realize these dreams themselves, not by giving them crutches, but making them climb the mountain themselves. With this, I once again thank Shri Jayantrao Jaibhave, former chairman of Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, Shri Roshan Bagde, president of the District Bar Association Nagpur, Shri Nitin Thakre, president of District Bar Association Nagpur, Nashik, for their presence here gives me a boost. I feel that yes, there is somebody who is endorsing what I am doing and tells me that old man, no time to retire. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sir. I think the PPT of Ekalavya is shared online on YouTube. So all of us can register. Those who are in between 0 to 3 years, they can, new entrants to the bar, they can register as interns. Those are seniors can register as mentors. Thank you, my lord, for this brainstorming session. Thank you, Honorable Sri. Yes, you can. Of them come with the question as to how to prepare for exam only.
About examinations. Please do not allow yourself to be judged by anyone else, not even by the examination results. Judge yourself only by your own standards, because examinations take place, papers are evaluated, there is a lot of element of chance. So therefore, allowing yourself to be judged by an element of chance is not going to help. Do your best, and you are bound to succeed. 12वीं फेल सुना था ना आपने, देखा है? हाँ? Yeah, please. So, thank you all.
We have amongst us Sri Jayan Jaibai, former chairman of Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa. He is also now in charge of this Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Research Institute. I humbly request Honorable Justice R.C. Chavan sir to felicitate Jayan Bhaiji, Jai Bhaiji for offering a sapling. Request sir to felicitate Nitinji Thakre, President of Nashik Bar Association. I also sincerely request Honorable Justice R.C. Chavan to felicitate our President Roshanji Bagde sir. खूप शॉर्ट नोटीसवर बागडे सरांनी आपल्याला रजिस्ट्रेशन करून दिलं. थँक्यू सर. यूट्यूब लिंक लाईव्ह आहे, आपण सर्वांनी पहा. आजचा कार्यक्रम आहे आणि परत सरांनी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे आपण सर्व एकलव्यावर पोर्टल बघू, रजिस्टर होऊ. इन विच कॅपॅसिटी, कुठल्या कॅपॅसिटीमध्ये. थँक्यू, सगळ्यांचे आभार.